Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be providing a market analysis for Chainlink and going over some custom-made indicators to help provide some insight. So before we begin, if you want to show some support, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, any comments, feedback, or video recommendations are greatly appreciated. So I'm going to talk about these two custom-made indicators. This one plots the closing price and its percent difference from the 200-day simple moving average, which I'll go over later on in the video. But first, I want to begin with this indicator here, so I'm going to minimize this panel. So we have this here indicator. This is going to be showing you the percent difference from the 20-week simple moving average. It's the red line on this chart. It takes the closing price of the last 20 weeks and averages it together. As you can see, currently the 20-week simple moving average is at $12.31, and we are pretty far below it. We are 48% down from that, and therefore that corresponds to us being pretty far in the red on this indicator. So it's a great visualization for how extended we are to the downside. And I'm just going to draw a line to where we are right now on this indicator, this level of underextension from the 20-week simple moving average. And as you can see, if we go all the way back to 2018, there's really only a few times in Chainlink's history where it has been this extended, this far extended to the downside. And it's in July of 2021 on this move here at $16, and then again in 2018, this level here at around 19 cents, and then finally this here in March of 2018 at roughly 24 cents. And my takeaway here is that each time we have gotten down to this level here, which corresponds to approximately negative 0.62 on this chart right here, each time we've gotten down this far, that has led price action to some sort of retest of this band, the green and red band here. If I just circle these, we can see how, we had this level here, we bounced back up into the band, and then I'm going to keep going over here. We had this level here, we bounced back up into the band, and my point is that every time we've been in these levels, it has corresponded to some sort of retest of the 20-week simple moving average. And I would expect this time to be no different. Most likely in the next few weeks, we are going to be seeing a retest of these moving averages, currently at $12, but they are also declining, so keep that in mind. Over the next few weeks, they will be coming down significantly, because if we do take the closing price 20 weeks ago, it was much higher, so it will be averaging down. So if I just extend this here out a little bit, you can see how just in a few weeks it could be at $8.50. So obviously some sort of bounce back up would most likely lead us to these moving averages in the short term. And I think most likely that is going to be a very key test once that does happen. So if we are to reject off of it, we would see some sort of action similar to the rejection in April of this year, where we had, 3 green candles coming up into this moving average and then a pretty sharp rejection. So that's sort of the bearish case if history were to repeat once again and we had a similar rejection. You can also see this rejection here in January, which was also similar. We had a few green candles coming up into the band and then a rejection off of it, forming this new local low here at $11.50. So I would expect and anticipate a retest of this. If you see a rejection off of these moving averages, then I would expect a retest of these lows at the very least, and potentially forming a lower low. But the bright side is that there is the possibility we start to trade above it and reclaim it as support. So if you see some sort of action here where we come up and reclaim this level as support, that would be phenomenal for Chainlink, and I would expect that to be incredibly bullish. So if I extend this out here, and if we were to do something like that, where we come up, we test it in the near future, and then we actually break above it and hold it as support, then this would be very good for Chainlink, because it would switch the longer term trend from being, resistance on these moving averages into support. And you can see when we do hold it as support, that can be very bullish for Chainlink. As you can see in September of 2020 and December and these later months, you can see we had countless closing prices above this band, holding it as support, and really that kind of held price action up and provided a lot of relief. and kind of led to this new all-time high being formed the following few weeks. So if we do see something like that, I would expect and kind of anticipate a retest of some of these lower highs, such as the one in April at $18, and then ultimately some of these higher levels. But we'll just have to wait and see and take it step by step. Sorry. All right. So now I'm going to collapse this pane and go over to the next indicator that I've created. So I'm going to switch over to a daily time frame because this is going to be plotting the percent difference from the 200-day simple moving average. So I'll just pull that up on my chart here and add it here just to give you some perspective. As you can see here, we do have the 200-day simple moving average in yellow, and similar to the 20-week, we are quite far extended below it. Currently, it is at $15.30, so that means we are down about 58% from it, corresponding to some darker blue colors. So the darker we are into the blue colors, the cool colors, that is the farther we are extended below it. And when we are in the red, yellow, and orange, that means we're very far extended above it. So for example, in August of 2020, when the closing price was approximately 300% above the 200-day simple moving average, it was in these very dark red colors. So if I zoom out all the way here, similar to the 20-week extension, we are quite far extended below the 200-day simple moving average. And it's telling me a similar thing where, we've never really seen this level of underextension except for this June 2018 phase. And you can see how this was very, very close to the macro bear market bottom. So I would expect, maybe this is not the bottom, but I would expect a bounce back up to the 200-day simple moving average, and at the very least a retest of this moving average. It doesn't have to reclaim it, but I would expect in the next few weeks or maybe the next few months, at some point or another, we are going to be retesting this 200-day simple moving average, and like the 20-week, it is declining, so it will come back down, and it could be, in middle of August, it could be at $10. If we extend it further down at this rate of decline, in October, it could be around $7. It really depends on when we do test it, but I believe that when we do test it, it is going to be a very key retest, and if we can reclaim it, I would expect that to be very bullish, because obviously we can hold it as support and expect some nice bounces off of it if we are above it. So I can just going back to April of 2019, we can see how it held as support, and then we had this new high here following this uptrend after a bounce off of this moving average. And then we had another bounce off of this in October of 2019. If I go back a little bit more, we can see in December of 2020, we had another bounce off of it. So, time again in uptrends, it can provide a support, and we can see some pretty nice bounces off of the 200-day simple moving average. So it would be absolutely beneficial for bulls if we could reclaim that and hold it as support. But that is a little bit further down the line. We are still at this moment, as I said earlier, we are still down about 58% from it. So this is kind of, watch out and wait and see over the next few weeks if we are able to retest this and maybe even reclaim it. So that's the end of my Chainlink analysis. I really hope you guys did enjoy. And as always, I will see you in the next one.